Now then, and welcome back to another episode. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing.
Welcome back to another episode of NemGo Evolved. Do you feel evolved right now? Or are you feeling
so evolved?
Like devolutionary? Hi, Missing Link, how you doing? We've got a fox on your head.
I do believe I do.
Yeah, you've been wearing that fox on your head since Tuesday's live stream.
Quite possible, yeah.
You literally have not washed your head since then.
Do you know what? Working with you drives me quackers.
Welcome back, folks. Look what I just put up. Trophies.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And you have upgraded all of the storage system to be very beautiful looking and very practical as well. All the on. We've had the mob farm killing witches for a little while to give us some more glowstone and redstone and stuff over here, and many blazes have been killed, and many other things have been sorted out as well, including many skeletons for many bones and all that kind of stuff. So we've had lots and lots going on while the server's been running in the background. All the things that we set up in previous episodes and live streams have just been carrying on with, and things are looking cool around here. One thing that we were missing on the big production side, we've got like steel being produced and machines from Immersive Engineering over here, and forestry machines and smelteries and QEDs and all that kind of stuff over here, all doing stuff. In the machine room, we've got lots and lots of little machines doing stuff. Lots of little machines and all sorts. We've finally got ourselves, what was it, a thermal centrifuge. So the Ego, Ego can make stone dust for something he was working on in his live stream the other day. And we've also got an induction smelter, or two now, ready to go. Lots of things going on over here. We've had a big change around on the farm side as well. But just before we go there, the next room on my list was this, the proof of concept room. And in the proof of concept room, currently, I have a clay brick manufacturing machine. Starting from a cobble gen and receiving some power from the system, it is all kind of self-fulfilling until you get to this point somewhere where you have to put dirt in, right? But we've got a quarry that gives us plenty of dirt from the top surface of the places. We start off with making cobblestone with a simple igneous extruder, making infinite cobble in a cobble gen. Then that cobble is pulverized into sand. That's also simple. At the minute, the gravel, which is a byproduct, goes down into the dusty bin. But you, of course, could use it for something else, if you wished. The sand then goes into the second slot of the induction smelter, where it is joined in the first slot by some pulverized iron and smelted into iron ingots. Occasionally, a piece of slag will be produced in the bottom slot, and that goes down into the oak drawer. Currently we have 0 slag in the oak drawer because that's being pumped off to elsewhere in the machine. The iron ingot, as it's been smelted, will then go to the pulverizer to be pulverized back down into dust and sent back to the induction smelter, creating a cycle that just uses up the free sand and generates free slag. I think there's like 4 bits of iron, basically just constantly 4 bits of iron just going through the system, smelting the dust, making the dust, smelting the dust, making the dust. The sand turns into slag, and the slag then is useful to us as a product.
You're kinda clever.
Kinda clever. Then the slag and the water and the dirt gets made into clay when there's 2 bits of slag. There is a recipe in this table over here. 2 pieces of slag, 1 piece of dirt, and a water bucket makes 4 knobs of clay. Are they called knobs of clay, or the globs of clay, or things of clay?
Let's call them globules.
Dabs of clay, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Dab. Did you just do a dab? You're not on the live stream, so no one saw it.
Nope, didn't do it.
Didn't dab. And then those dabs of clay get put into a furnace, of course, and the furnace then cooks them up 4 at a time, it seems.
There's what of clay?
Dabs of?
Dabs!
You can't actually do a dab in Minecraft, unfortunately, otherwise we would be dabbing in Minecraft. And then that makes bricks.
Dabs!
And then we can take the bricks, and we can make the bricks into bricks.
Chocolate cake.
Actual bricks. And then with the actual bricks...
We can build
factories.
Where did that come from?
I just gave you an actual brick, didn't I? And your magnet took it. So it's a few days later, and I put all that clay and bricks to good use and built something else on the server that you will recognise. Hopefully recognise anyway. Way back when Nemsun and Ego completed against the CT map. I need to fix that. It's gone. There you go. Now you see it's gone. We made a factory, or I made a factory, and when we used it to make military-grade weapons and stuff on the CT mod pack. Now, I've also used it for the Forever Stranded mod pack, when I made this factory out of some kind of clay or whatever, and it was a factory to do all my auto-production. Well, this is the factory in its much more vanilla state, so that it could come onto the Patreon server hub map. The server hub's just over there. You can just see it in the distance. This is NemGo on the Madlands Season 2, I believe. This is our base back here. This is then going to be linked up kind of smoothly into the other area over there at spawn, because I want to make a cake shop at spawn. One of my patrons, Foxy, wanted me to make a cookie machine. And of course, you saw in the last episode me making a cookie machine, and that was basically an auto crafting table, like so, an auto crafting bench making cookies, right? And we just had a couple of bits of farming things. We had some wheat growing and a planter and harvester taking cocoa beans and then shipping it out over there and doing that. We also had culinary generators doing all the power stuff, yeah? So, yeah, we make power, generate more materials, bring the materials over here and make cookies. So that's what this factory is all about, not just making cookies, because obviously that little device there, one auto crafting recipe, is nothing, is it? It's nothing. Making a few cookies like that is nothing. Now, I could, if I felt like I should, make a planter and a harvester, or at least a harvester, for every type of crop that we wanted to make something out of, cake-wise. But me and Ego basically set this up. We brought all the power stuff over and we set up all the power stuff and we hooked it all up and we got it all started and sorted. And we thought, well, that's it. That's the cookies made. Now let's add to it. And since I've been thinking about adding to it, I've been thinking about adding raisin cookies and chocolate cakes and donuts, if there are such a thing, and all that kind of stuff. And with Halloween coming up, Halloween treats and things. But first, I've got to get this sorted, and I'm not really happy about the layout that I'm discovering right now. Not really that happy about the layout. I feel like this should be some kind of output over here, because deliveries out, or outgoing products will then go towards the shop at spawn, down some kind of road that I'm yet to build. Incoming, we've got some massive wheat fields over in this section and a windmill. So this should kind of be wheat incoming into this side, where we then have power gen, because I'm planning on using power gen using the wheat to make bread and then make power through the culinary generators. And then kind of, I don't know, and then kind of deliveries out the back or something. I'm not really sure. And then what to do up there. At the minute, I've kind of got that thing up there. That jetpack's ran out. Good job me. I'm kind of storing the food and goods up there at the minute. I'm not sure which way around I want to do it, but I want to do it on a grander scale, and I want to do more of it, and I want to do it quicker, and I want to get more done, and I want to organise it and sort it and make it look better for you. So, give me a minute to get it all done. Alright, just a minute, and I'll show you some details about what we're going to do as I'm doing it. So what's the first thing that happens between the factory type, well, between the farms and the factories? of course, has to be something to do with the delivery in, and this is a delivery in. And I've also got an office here as well. I'm starting to work on the office. I haven't designed it properly yet, especially because the doors are really annoying. But I'm thinking that something inside this area here should be offices, right? I have actually cornered off and changed a few bits around so I can have offices up there as well with a little balcony. But first up, right, we're coming in from here. We're bringing wheat in from here, and sometimes, I guess, bags of grain from there. But let's just say it's all wheat coming in. And it goes onto pallets. And these pallets look a bit like that. They're pallets. Yeah, they're pallets. And then we can put some of this on the pallets to make it look like we have had a delivery of wheat in from the farms close by to process the wheat ourselves into whatever we need it to be. Right? Hay bales. And the other parts of it can come into here. I haven't got an idea how to make it look a bit more kind of realistic, I suppose you could say. I haven't figured out a way of doing it to make it look even more realistic. I'm just working off making it look semi-realistic because it's a big factory and there's quite a lot of space for other things to go in here. But anyway, yeah, deliveries from the farms drop off the wheat. And then we're also going to process our own wheat. Yeah, so how are we going to do that? I guess this is going to be kind of like a grinding flour area here. We can make this because that's supposed to be another garage door. Another kind of delivery in and out sort of area. Bit of a warehouse down here. And then have the products stored up there. All the bits and pieces up there stored. Or maybe this is an output. And then that's out. Got to think this through carefully. Because a factory's got to look like a factory, like it's a working factory. I have worked in factories before, and it has had always a goods in and a goods out the other end of the factory. That's how it's supposed to work for like food hygiene and stuff. So that should technically be the goods out end over here. Out to that way. So this is goods in. Okay, goods in. And goods in, we're going to probably just hide a lot of this kind of actual auto production inside this area here. Maybe up to this sort of section. Try and make as many of these small farms as I can in this area, taking all the merchandise up. Or I could make the farms up there and bring the merchandise down. Ooh, now there's another advantage. Also, putting that up there would mean that the cables would string out across the tops here and then down to all the machines that need it. Oh, I'm going to have to change that round again now. Yep, I'm going to change it round. Well, there's a few things I've got now. I've completely moved the whole garden, the whole farm, the whole gardening, the whole farm up the top slightly. There's quite a bit still to do. I'm nowhere near finished with the project in general, but I am working on some stuff, and it's mostly reworking some of the existing designs that we've already gone through together in the series so far, like making the cocoa and making the bits and pieces. Onto making the farms a little bit more expansive now, right? So what we've got up here in this room is expansive farms. I've now got 4 farms with 4 harvesters sorted out. Now these harvesters currently don't have any power. And they don't have any power because I've put them on a breaker, each one on a breaker. It's kind of wired a bit funny. I might be able to do something a little different, but this is the way I've wired it for now, okay? So, the power in will be here. Yeah, and we're going to produce power over this side. I've already gathered up all of the power generation and power capacitors and all that kind of stuff. We've gathered all that up ready for later. Power's going to be in here, into this LV capacitor. And then out on here, right? It's going to loop from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Okay? So it's doing a full loop all the way down to each one of these. Yeah? From one to the next to the next. And at each one of those, including the first, there is a second wire that goes to a breaker switch, and then that comes down to the machine. So if that breaker switch is turned on, then this machine will start receiving power. There we go. And then you can switch it off at the same time. But the power is still going from one to the next. And then this one is going to here. Currently no power, turn the brake switch on, and this will quickly fill up with power. There we go. And then you can turn it off. So each individual harvester can have its own power turned on or off in one kind of I think they call it a offshoot or something like that, don't they? So you call it an offshoot. Any one, it doesn't require the other ones to be on ahead of it or behind it. It just will work so long as you've got that breaker on, right? Switches. And that's how many modern electrics work. I can't remember what they call it, but there's radial circuits and there's branches or something like that. And this is kind of like a branch. So it goes from one point out to the other. It doesn't stop, but it connects to various switches on the way. It goes all the way through on the circuit, all the way to the end, and at each point it breaks off and goes to a switch. And the switch goes to the item. Yeah, that's kind of how it works in electrics. Not that I'm an electrician, that's just how I understand it, and I hope that worked for you. The other problem that we had previously was that they fill up with sludge. So I've put these trash cans with a fluid node on each one. I'm not sure if there's a better way or a quicker way or a more easy way of getting rid of that. Another thing that I don't know if you know, but I didn't know, was that you can do this, like make farmland once, make farmland again, right? You can put water in that, and that's used for something. That water pad for agricraft, that's used for something. But I didn't know that this also irrigated the next one on. So if we take a look at, say, this one, just because that one isn't really fair because I've got an infinite source next to it. But this one, right, this should not be irrigated because it's nowhere near. Yeah, there we go. It's just gone pop because it's not irrigated. But if we do that twice, put the water in there, and then all of the places around that water source will irrigate. It's so cool, so clever. So the center of each one of these little islands is going to have a water source like so in the middle of it. So we can keep the whole area hydrated at all times. So next on my list of things is to generate the power from all this. Taking transfer nodes out the back so that we can capture all the items as they get harvested and then sent out. We're sending those down to below where we're going to have all of our storage. At the moment, everything's coming down here and along a great long pipe all the way down to this end. Now that's okay because the majority of these two sections here all the way down to this, sort of this half, all this bottom floor, is all just going to be for show. Just for the thrills and spills, for the interest of design. It's going to be in here, like I might even park a truck in here. Who knows? I'm going to do something in here anyway. That'll be relevant to this series today. Most of the vanilla elements of this will remain through from one mod pack to the next, which is a good thing, right? But what I'm doing is bringing it all the way down here, and then it goes up into a draw controller there. Now it goes up two blocks, so it goes up 2 pipe sections up there, which means that anything more than 2 is still further away. So it'll always try to go up first. So from those machines, it'll come down here, try and go up first, put it up there, and if it can't put it up there, it'll carry on searching and find this draw controller over here. And on this side, this draw controller will have a load of this stuff. Right? I don't think I have any more draw controllers. Any more drawers in here at the minute. I've got one more drawer in my inventory which I need, but it's basically going to be these drawers up here or set up on here as a storage area or this way around, right? And then pipes like so, I think I've already explained this, we go to retrieval nodes, and the retrieval nodes will retrieve them from the whole storage system and send them out to here. But priority wise, we're going to be going to that first section. All of the barley and wheat will go to that first section first. If it can get to this section, then it will. If it can't get to this section, then it will go on to the rest of the storage, right? and everything else should avoid this because it can't go into here. This isn't a valid inventory slot available to it. So it should only put these in here. That's my plan. And the rest goes there. So this is priority. Number 1, getting barley and wheat into here from the farms there. And I've only set up a small amount in here because I think I'm going to be able to have this running nice and steady and be keeping up most of the time. Now the next thing that I need to do is take from those chests. Okay, so I'd better put a little key fob note on them before it takes it all out. So I'll take from those, right, simply enough, and place it into auto crafting benches, right. Now I want to do something about this so that it doesn't go completely all over the place and I'm always crafting too much stuff. So I'm going to put my auto crafting benches there and there, right. I want to put rationing pipes, as you can see here. Now rationing pipes should, in theory, only allow 1 stack of any item to go in there. So it won't overfill it, right? 1 stack will go in there, and that's it. 1 stack. And all the rest will build up in here, which is 32 stacks. And then all the excess stock will go down there, where it will be used in the rest of recipes and things, right? And we should be able to keep up with that easy enough with a couple of farms there. So do the same here, right? Recipes go in that way. And then I think this one was wheat. Is this one wheat? I can check inside, I suppose, can I? Wheat to bread. I'm not sure which one of these is right. That's bread. Yes, it is. Wheat to bread that way, right? And this one is barley wheat to bread, as it were. Barley to bread. That works perfectly as well. Okay. So once we've got those sorted, then I can put transfer nodes on each of these going this way. And I suppose it doesn't really matter which way around I put these. Let's just put one there and set it going this way. The other one will get connected as well next time out, right? So we should potentially put bread there. I might actually put toast there instead. I'm thinking about culinary generators, right? We've got all these culinary generators, and I'm thinking about how the best way to do it is, and I'm thinking that just maybe having a setup like this. Oh no, actually, give me that back. Having this into. Do I want it on the same level? Yeah, I want it on the same level actually. Let's put it on that slot there then. Okay, so this. Having toast, bringing everything in this way, put the bread in the redstone furnace and make it into toast. That should be a valid target. Oh, they've only taken out everything, isn't it? Okay, we need to make that take out bread and not wheat. Bread and not barley. That's good. Okay. And put all that in there. Okay, and then it'll come out this way to make toast, and then toast should be more valuable in making power. So then we'll probably make that come out this way and put this on here. Okay. Swap it round. Put this on here. There we go. Alright, so we're going to take it from here, going to craft it into bread, cook the bread in the redstone furnace and put the bread into here toasted, and then I'm going to distribute it to all the culinary generators and then put power back into the system. So power back into this and power back into the rest of the system. So it's just going to be an energy connector there, and that should come straight from that. So I've got to power that, and I've got to power that to get the whole thing moving and motoring from the supply here. I think just like that I'll do it for now. Yeah, I think so. So the culinary generators are receiving the toast, generating 55,000 RF at 28 RF per tick. That's pretty cool. And with this, it generates really fast. So we're going to be able to administer this stuff. We're going to send it out that way somewhere. I might turn all of this into something a bit better, because If this can do that at 28 RF per tick, then it's times... Was it times 8? Yeah, I think it's times 8 that it produces it at. Times 8. Which is quite a lot. What's that? 224 power level. I think that's right. 224 power. I think it's making 224 power per tick. Yeah, 224 power per tick. 28 times 8, I guess. Yeah, 224 power per tick it's been generating. So we need then enough to send that out. Now, 256 RF in one of these is just enough. But once we've got it in here, we're sending it across here fairly simply enough to be able to go to all the machines, all the farms out here. And I'll just turn this one back on. There we go. Now start harvesting that again. But it should keep up with those easily enough. And then I can take it maybe out this direction and just change this to have an output this way and bring it out and convert it into high voltage. And then send the high voltage out to the factory and convert it back down to low voltage when it gets to any machines that we need. Just to travel in one large wire, lots of electric instead, or lots of RF instead. It should be filling up a treat now. Yeah, it's looking good, looking good. Filling up really fast. The toast is generating really quickly. That is good. And then this is just boom, boom, boom. That should keep filling up and using up. And we should be making lots of bread. It's keeping one stack in there at all times, using 3 to make a bread. And then the cooking side of things is fairly swift. I could speed this up a little bit as well by adding an upgrade in. I could speed it up. I mean, I don't think I need a redstone disabled into circuit in there, so I might be able to do a speed up some kind of thing. But for long term, it's going to be able to keep up with these using the power. Yeah, it's going to be able to keep up with these super easy because, well, it can virtually keep up with them already. Yep. And so it'll keep up with generating all that power. I'm never going to use all that power that quickly unless I've got loads of machines out here. Speaking of which, I do plan on having loads of machines out there, so I better get on with doing some more stuff, prepping some more things up, ready for next episode. So thank you all very much for watching today's episode. Hope you enjoyed, hope you liked, hope you leave a like. I will see you in the next episode of NemGo Evolved very soon. Goodbye.